And you sell the stock.
How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good. I got the camera going in one hand.
Good.
I got food in the other hand. Can I offer you a slice of pizza?
I'm fine, it's too hot to eat, thank you.
I got both pepperoni and tomato on the other half.
I'm good, I appreciate it.
Okay.
I'm good. Thank you though.
Just between me and you, I've already licked every piece just to get ownage on it. Hey, can I put you on the spot on a question or two more?
Go ahead.
I think you're the guy who probably talks to me more than anyone else, but everybody's pretty friendly and talks. But if these are all first-time offenses, which one do you think is worst or most dangerous? Running a red light in moderate traffic with lights on, but illegally. Expired tag.
With lights on, which means we run the red light?
Well, it could have been somebody that stole your car or something, but yeah, it was you all that ran the red light. But I don't want you to weigh that into your response to me. But I gotta be honest with you, it was you all ran the red light. And I was like the victim because I witnessed it. I pushed for a ticket because I thought, because this was the second year in a row you guys did that parade and you broke the law. The first year, 3 of you ran a stop sign. The second year, 2 cars went left of center, or what I say, all the way over into the lane of oncoming traffic. Modern
parade, we have our lights and sirens on. This means this roadway is closed throughout the traffic. We go through that. So with this question, I don't think that this is dangerous. It is dangerous if we are on a run and run a red light, but if we do it we still do it with due regard, which means we usually come to a stop or very slow if it's in the middle of the night and look if there is crossing traffic, and then we cross the intersection. I don't think that expired tag is a danger. It is just infraction. That's all.
You don't think going through a red light is a danger in moderate traffic?
It can be a danger, yes.
More dangerous than the expired tag?
It is, but like I said, we do it with due regard. If we don't do it with due regard, then for sure it's dangerous.
I let my tags expired, not out of due regard,
okay,
but out of I'm kind of old and I'm kind of absent-minded. And the reminder they send you 90 days ahead of time, I'm also like a procrastinator, so I just set that aside to like I need to get back to that 90 days.
Yeah.
And then like then it's like out of mind, out of sight, out of mind. And on top of it, it seems like I went and got the plates the next day or whatever, the sticker.
Perfect.
And I think they charged me a $10 late fee, and that felt okay. But what you all put in the action with the ticket you all gave me, you didn't give me a warning, got a ticket. Not you, you know, an officer did. 150 bucks.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking
the price this year from 130 to 150 with the most of it.
I'm thinking I don't know a business out there that, number one, because I think to get the sticker was right around 50 bucks, I think. So I'm gonna say double the triple the original product the late fee is costing me, or I guess a crime of doing it with expired tags. And it just seems cruel and unusual in a way. But we've accepted it as a society.
You know? We don't set the price. We get told what the price is. Because it's we get a price because it's a waivable offense. Because you have those 2 options. You can say, yeah, okay, where's me? I pay the ticket or whatever you like to do. Or the other chance is you go to court and you fight it. These are the 2 options you have. Or try it at the judge is maybe giving you a lesser fine.
Yep.
But these are your 2 options, but we don't make up the fines or anything else. This is what we were told. Hamilton County raises for expired tag, for speed, for whatever.
Yeah, if you go to court, they charge you an extra 45. So
they can waive that.
Yeah, they can, but going into court, a lot of citizens, they just don't know, and then do you want to take the chance, and then do you want to take the time and all that?
Sure.
I was going to go to court on mine, but last minute I decided just to pay it out. But the other part of the story that's interesting and is I was up there, and you know DEA moved in up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I saw what I thought was a DEA employee truck. I don't know if it's a DEA truck, or if it's an employee truck, but I thought it was a DEA employee truck with tags that were expired from March. Mine were 45 days. Theirs are like going on months. And I'm doing a video and I'm saying, yeah, I'm going to go in and complain about this, but I hope they give them a 2-week warning, give them 2 weeks to get it, you know. So as a citizen, and I think as an officer, I'd like to think I'm the same way, that I would recognize that even though Hamilton County sets those prices, that by me participating and giving someone a ticket, not a 2-week heads up, because you guys see me all the time, you know my car, stuff like that. It ain't like you ain't gonna see me after 2 weeks. That a warning would be appropriate, and that to have somebody pay 150 bucks, because who hurts the most on that? If you're rich, which some people might categorize me as that, it's a payout. It's 150 bucks out of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But if you're going paycheck to paycheck and you got a family, it's a game changer, 150 bucks. And if you're saying, hey, we're going to give the tickets to just the rich people, then it's selective enforcement. And at the end of the day,
I'll make determination who pays the car taxes and who not. You know, and sure you can make. I don't know who officer was it. I don't even want to know.
It was the officer I busted for running through the red light.
It is just the question then. He made the determination, he gave you a ticket. Officers still have the ability to give a warning for sure, for that as well. I have my cuts off, and everybody has theirs. And because not paying your car taxes also hurts everybody else, because the government has less money to spend on roads or whatever, or 911 or the library or school district or whatever they use the money for.
Do you have a personal policy or an overriding kind of philosophy on expired tags yourself?
It is not a policy, it's my personal opinion.
I mean, do you have a personal opinion? Like,
I just explained my personal opinion to you.
Like, if you pull someone over with expired tags, do you give them the ticket every time, or you never give them the ticket, or you always give a warning?
No.
Just situation by situation?
This is correct.
Okay.
And it depends how long, it depends how the person, depends how often this happened before. For me, there are several indicators I'll look at before I make my termination, what I will do. But to your question before, to wrap it up, the one thing is a red light, the other one is expired tags. Like I explained, with being an official parade and secured by the police department with overhead emergency lights turned on, it is not the infraction.
It's illegal. It's an infraction.
Okay.
Yep. You have been warned and you have been given training. I've been told that when you all do a parade thing, you're supposed to follow, even with your sirens on or your lights on, you're supposed to follow the same traffic devices we all follow, and that includes red lights, stop signs. And now 5 of y'all, just by my hand, my initiation, have been written up for those violations. But what it goes to show is that rules for thee, not for me. And you laugh, but that's the reality of it. You all ran a red.
You always try to get a reaction out of people, and
no,
I don't appreciate that. And with that being said,
don't end the conversation, please.
Why not?
Because this is a very important point I'm making.
You are trying to get a reaction out of
I'm not.
You're saying we do all something wrong. We don't follow the rules. It is every time the same thing.
You run a red light, you don't get a ticket.
We have a conversation. I answer your questions.
Yeah, we're having a good conversation.
And I am totally fine doing that.
I appreciate it.
At one point, it starts that you're trying to get a reaction. You're getting more and more, I don't want to say aggressive, because it's not aggressive.
No, I'm not aggressive at all.
You're not an aggressive person. But
I even got my hair cut recently, so I'm not looking quite as sluggish.
The way the questioning will go is usually to get a reaction, and I feel baited. It's all what I do.
Can I explain myself?
Please go ahead.
So when I say rules for thee, not for me, I'm talking about that when I witnessed you all committing that crime, because it's a minor misdemeanor crime, and there were 2 police cars involved. Somebody else.
In your mind, it is a Christmas parade, and the officer should stop at a red light, and if the whole parade, like the traffic is stopped for the entire way, in your mind, there should be, let's say, the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, and write every person who walks through that, every police officer who's securing that and is escorting this parade, and every vehicle involved in this parade should get a $150 ticket, no exceptions.
I wouldn't say people walking. I wouldn't say the passenger.
Jaywalking in this. No.
If they were jaywalking,
you make a differentiation. So every person in this parade, from the 6-year-olds from Oak Hills.
Well, it wasn't that kind of parade. It's a 2-car parade.
The Christmas parade, you know.
It's a 2-car parade.
If it's Oak Hills High School, all of those students should receive.
Sorry, it was a 3-vehicle parade.
$150 ticket for jaywalking then. And every vehicle which is involved in this parade the driver should receive a citation for $150.
No, I'm not saying that. Okay. What I'm saying is that if they don't
make a differentiation.
What I'm saying is that in that case, I consider myself a victim because I witnessed it, and I pushed for a ticket. So I was overridden by the chief who didn't give a ticket, and I think that if you all don't get a ticket for something like running a red light.
But you're calling for it, so it was actually good that you got a ticket, because when you call for everybody else to get a ticket, why should you not get a ticket? I
don't call for everyone else to get a ticket. That just in that situation, because
just the police department, not everybody else in this parade.
No, other situations with PD related situations, I don't always call for punitive. In fact, I talked to a Green Township officer who told me when I was complaining against him, he said, "I'm going to get rid up for this." I said, "You tell the guy that's going to discipline you that if he writes you up to call me first, because I'm going to push for you not to get rid up. I want education only." But in this scenario it was different, because I felt that it was the 2nd year in a row y'all were breaking the law, and going through a red light. Traffic accidents is one of the #1 causes of police accidents, and if you don't get ticketed, then I don't think you should ticket.
On a blocked road, but I think
you don't think that's true, or you think I'm just saying those things to get a reaction?
No, you just don't listen. That's the only thing.
You interrupted me the last 2 times I was making a point, but I don't know what you mean I don't listen.
This is blocked. There are cruisers blocking the entire roadway. There's no other vehicle on the road. So
that ain't the case in this parade. That isn't what happened in this parade, sir.
Okay.
I'll send you the video to the parade and what actually happened, because I have it on video recording.
Complain on me today if you would like to.
I'm not going to complain. I think we're having a good conversation.
About my opinion?
I might give you a compliment, and then I'll let the people judge. I'll probably post this video because I think it's a good conversation. I think it's a way for both of us to learn, and maybe have an even better conversation next time. But I think this was a good conversation. I don't think I'm trying to get a reaction by trying to bring up in a discussion that
it's just my interpretation, you know.
Okay.
Maybe you don't, maybe you do. I don't know. I don't want to put words.
Sometimes I may, by the way. I'm just saying this time I'm just trying to have a good, honest conversation with you about something that I think is a real issue. I think that we should have equal justice under the law, and I think it's not just police that are treated unequally beneficial for the most part, but it's politicians and people with big money and stuff, and that's what I'm trying to expose. I'm going to court right now, probably going to throw it out.
May I ask for what?
I was weaponized. The last thing is a whole list of like 7 things. The last thing on the list was when I was video recording, exercising freedom of press from a traditional public sidewalk on the side of Rapid Run Middle School.
Okay.
Doing a news story on what trustees brought up in a public meeting in a matter of public interest, which is that C.O. Harrison is always having traffic up there. They get complaints every year. Always heavy traffic with school coming in and out.
Oh, on Eve Road?
Yep, on Eve Road. So I was doing a comparison of that to Rapid Run. But they had a whole list of things. Some of them were lies. And but that's kind of a side thing. But you know, I kind of know a guy up here, a Delhi employee. He had beer cans open and closed in the back, a cooler in the back. Maybe he's collecting trash. I don't know.
For the concert, or?
No, and he also had his car running with the windows down, like 100 feet from where the kids play. That's a crime as well. He came out of the building, 15 minutes, I waited for him. 15 minutes, any kid could have gotten his car, just drove off with beer in the back. And I said to him, I said, "You seem like a cool guy." He kind of seemed like somebody been drinking all his life, by the way. I said, "You seem like a cool guy." I said, "I'm just gonna let you off with a warning, but you can't be running your car up here without you know, with kids running around, and I said, you can't have those beer in the back either. Now, I don't think the beer's fine because he could claim he's cleaning up trash or whatever, but run the car as a minor misdemeanor, I understand. And, you know, I let him off with a warning. So I don't always go for, you know, things like that. And I try to have compassion in some of the things I do. But I appreciate you talking. Any questions you want to ask me?
No, I'm good.
Hey, I spent the last roughly 5 months going to trial for a different, not Delhi, but a different government organization. Part of it was news from public sidewalk, things like that. Another one was I was wearing a ski mask in their area because a week before I went to do a public records request with no hat on. They made me do it out in the cold. So, so yeah, I think too, I once saw this thing. You ever hear of Dale Carnegie?
Carnegie?
Dale Carnegie?
No.
He runs, he's kind of popular. The Carnegie family's kind of well known.
Yeah, I know the family.
But
Don't know if he's related to those Carnegies.
He runs a training program, and he says, hey, he takes an index card, and he says, if you want to get here, he says, you can take the card and you bend it down there. The problem is when you let it go, it bounces back up. Sometimes you get here, it bounces here. And so if you want to get here, you really got to bend the card down here so it gets to where you want to be. And see, that's an extreme to get to the norm. And sometimes in these things of public matter, whether you're trying to get a reaction or not, you're going to get reactions because these are things that are so passionate to people, and some people feel like they've been seriously screwed in ways that require that you all being government as a whole have already done things that cause us to react, but a lot of us have suppressed that out of fear and things like that. And so so yeah, I appreciate you talking with me. I always go a little longer and I probably should, but I thought today was a good conversation, and you and I are in different circles for sure. So you and I definitely, I think, going forward, just based on that, can have a lot to learn from each other. But you have a good night, and hopefully it took a little bit out of your routine. I imagine it ain't rough sitting here all day, but after a while it's got to be like, man,
it's hot today.
Got to find something, or yeah, this heat wave's killing me. But good speaking with you, and I'll see you next time. Yep. So yeah, he's almost always friendly, and he talks with me a lot. Seems like a nice guy, and I thought that was a good conversation.